So, what are my plans for next week?
I would have just stressed plans. What are my plans for next week? So, what are my plans for next week? Another thing here, too, that you can experiment with is the use of pauses and breaks.
So, what are my plans for next week?
So, what are my plans for next week? Is this very regular? All the words are almost the same length. You see how it changes, though, maybe if you add like a pause after so. So, what are my plans for next week? I also think that we can increase our range of pitches. Again, because you have two stresses in a very short amount of time, plans, and then was it next or week? Which one are you stressing?
So, what are my plans for next week?
Next week, you're stressing next. So if you take off that stress on next, you're just able to really expand your lower pitches. So what are my plans for next week? See how much lower I can go? Plans for next week. And again, one of the keys to American English is trying to increase our range of pitches, trying to go higher on the highs, trying to go lower on the lows. And just by having that lower pitch there, it's going to be very, very helpful for achieving a more natural sound, I think.
So, what are my plans for next week?
So what are my plans for next week? Especially like after R, the pitches really just kind of die because it kind of starts engaged. It starts a little higher.
So, what are my
So what are my? So you're starting higher,
plans for next week?
and then it just dies. Plans for next week. So what are my plans for next week? So what are my plans for next week? We also have a group called Mission English. Mission English is our private group on Facebook. You subscribe for the month, and then by joining, you get access to all of these classes. These are group classes that you join as part of a Mission English program.